throwing a fit. You're going after our entire education.
How many subscribers do you have?
You got scared after last time. You saw what we could do. And now you want to cut off our resources because you don't like people with loud voices.
How do you feel about me doing this live?
No!
You said you were a premier for the people. Well, apparently our classes
there we
us
go.
to take them online and cut OSAP for low-income families.
Sandra, you raised that.
Stand by and let you put your shady agenda ahead of our well-being, our education, and our future. They may have voted you in, but we, the students, will vote you out.
Oh, it's YouTube.
Instagram.
They voted you and will vote you out. They voted you and will vote you out. They voted you in. They voted you and will vote you out. Yeah, let's hear it for Hannah!
I really think they should stop chanting
That's
slogans.
truth right there. Okay. So get ready, Harvard. We have a real treat for you. Our MPP, Jessica Bell, is here with us here today. She's the MPP at the University of Rosedale Valley. Let's give her a big Harvard roar!
Okay, you all totally are amazing. You're part of the biggest student walkout in Canada's history. Is that awesome or what? Are you ready to fight for your rights? Are you ready to fight for your education? Are you ready to stand up to this flawed government? I'm so proud to be doing this here with you. This government doesn't care about the kind of education you get, because if he did, they wouldn't be doing these cuts. No. This government doesn't care how much it's going to cost you to go to university, because students are going into crippling debt just to get ahead in this precarious economy. And is that right? No, it is not right. Shame. This government still doesn't care about whether you learn about healthy relationships and consent. And the only reason why they're starting to bring that back into the curriculum is because of you. So thank you. And this government doesn't care about the environment. This government doesn't care if we have clean water, if we have air that doesn't give us cancer, and they don't care if we have a stable climate so that we've got a future. And we are going to stop this government. We're going to make sure this is a one-term government and that we get the education and the future that we deserve. I'm proud to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jessica Bell. This means so much to us, doesn't it, Harvard?
Yeah!
Up next, we have another student speaker named Paige speaking to us here today. So thank you.
Sandra, do you want your sign back?
Paige.
Nah, you hold that shit.
But I'm already going live with this.
Wait, where? With who?
YouTube.
Yeah!
You want to help with the sign?
No, I don't want your sign.
He's already giving me a sign.
Of all Ontarian students.
What?
Because these changes are going to affect all of us drastically. I'm speaking today because we need to protect the jobs of thousands of teachers whose jobs are currently at risk. With Doug Ford's changes, more than 5,000 teachers across Ontario will lose their jobs.
I want to see the picture of the other side. She wanted Bobby Smith.
How is it fair that thousands of students who have dedicated their lives to helping students will no longer have jobs?
Oh shit, where'd Stephanie go? She was up there.
I have two ASL teachers. One of them has been a teacher for 8 years. Throughout her career, she's been transferred every single year. She's just gotten the chance to stay at the same school for over a year, but now she doesn't even know if she'll have a job.
Boo!
I don't know if we're supposed to cheer boo.
I don't know.
She should not have to
saying
worry about
shame, so I'm
being
gonna say
fired.
Shame!
Say shame.
How is this supposed to help our education? How is fewer teachers going to help us grow? Fewer teachers means less time for one-on-one help from your teacher. This could negatively affect a lot of students, causing them to struggle and fall behind in classes. Doug Ford, you're saying you're for the people, but you're hurting thousands of teachers and students with these changes. You say that you're for the people, but you seem to forget the teachers who dedicate their time to educate our province's children. You seem to forget the students.
I just say it's a negative impact. I don't know.
You seem to forget the students who desire specialized courses.
Do you want to say something first?
Nah, go. Okay.
Say no.
Yeah.
No, do not write Bob. I will not. I swear to God, if you write Bob.
Yes, Paige, thank you. Amazing.
No. No one won. Why am I doing this?
We lost.
Ontario's slogan
Why am I doing this?
has been for almost 50 years.
Zero viewers.
Yours to discover. A slogan that speaks to all Ontarians, young and old, including students. The Ford government has taken it upon themselves to change it to their crass campaign slogan, "Open for business."
That's disgusting!
Disgusting!
They've already spent millions of dollars changing our welcome signs with this slogan on it. And they want to plaster it all over our license plates.
No!
Open for business. Wow. We really know what's important to Doug Ford.
Business.
The business, the big corporation,
Business.
not the people, and least
Money.
of all the students. Well, what do we have to say to that? He is cutting our education to fund his corporate agenda. Open for business? No! Open for education! Because again, cuts hurt kids! 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 I'm now honored to welcome Noor Ali Deeb, a chairperson of the Canadian Federation for Students of Ontario. Let's hear it for Noor!
Someone, I don't
I
know.
want to hear you folks be really loud, okay? When education is under attack, what do? Unite, fight back! When teachers' jobs are under attack, what do? Unite, fight back! When student grants are under attack, what do?
Right back.
What do?
Unite, fight back.
What do?
Unite, fight back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. Sorry. Hi, everyone. My name's Noor. I'm the chairperson for the Canadian Federation of Students Ontario. I'm also a student at the University of Toronto, paying the highest tuition fees in the entire country. Shame. Today, I'm not only another student, but I'm bringing you folks solidarity, love, and support from over 350,000 college and university students across the province.
I got one, David. I got one view. I got one view.
We know that your fight is our fight, and we need to stand shoulder to shoulder
I can't
against
tell.
education cuts.
Whoever's watching this,
Now, these
comment
cuts
so I know who it is.
It's not coming
Oh,
out of
two
nowhere.
viewers.
They know
Two
exactly
people.
what they're
Holy
trying to
shit,
do,
yeah.
Because this government is afraid of
Israel
educating
and
folks.
Sarah.
As many of you know, in January, the government
Maybe
announced cuts
Alex.
to the
I don't
Ontario
know.
Student Assistance Program, which will
Dakota.
eliminate grants for low-income students, forcing us to take out more loans.
I'm just gonna watch your live video so then I don't have to look up.
That means we're graduating
Oh,
with
God,
over
my arm hurts.
$28,000 of student debt.
My-
That
oh,
means-
it's goddamn, come on.
That means we can't
This is
put
why you
food on
have
the
to
table,
invest
we
in a
can't pay rent
tripod.
in Toronto,
I know.
Have to
it's
talk.
expensive, and all these other things like grad
But it's
school.
my
Am I going to
phone.
grad school? I can't afford it. No.
Oh, I can't get.
I got
We
one
also
leg.
know that it impacts your
can't-
decision about whether you
I
can
can't get
attend
Wi-Fi.
college or
Yeah.
university.
I know, I'm using data to do this.
What
the hell?
If you don't have the
I know
grants
I'm
to make
dumb,
it
but
through,
Ben
are you gonna
recommended
take
it,
out
so I'm gonna
the
do it.
Do you have unlimited data?
No.
Oh my god.
In addition to
I don't
the
use
cost
data,
of
like,
OSAP,
ever,
the government
so it's
is
fine.
attacking student unions and
a
groups
one-time
that fight
thing.
for
Yeah.
students' rights through the Student Choice Initiative. This government is afraid of us, and they spread lies about us, calling us crazy Marxist nonsense. Or like today, when they said that students like yourselves are walking out because union leaders told you to. Are you walking out because your teachers told you? No.
No! They legally tell us to tell him.
Secondary education.
They legally
Shame
suggest
on
us
this
to stay in
government for
class.
attacking
So
students. At the
they legally have
post-secondary
to tell us
level
to
with the
stay in
Student Choice
class.
Initiative, if you go to university or college, it means you won't have the space or the resources to organize the same way you folks are doing now. And I'm not going to stand for that shit. The government likes to to run around and be like, look, we're doing such great things. We got a 10% tuition fee reduction. And yes, that's a victory for students who have organized for years for a tuition fee reduction. But they are not increasing public funding. What that means is our class sizes will continue to increase. What that means is we'll have really crappy on-campus services. What that means is we're going to have crumbling campus infrastructure. Does that sound familiar? It's exactly what's happening to you all. So, this is not the government for the people. And despite all of that, I am confident that we are going to win. Because when the students are united, we will never be defeated. I want to thank you all. I know it goes without saying because you're not doing this for anyone but yourselves. But I want to thank you because the work that you folks are doing can be difficult on top of all the responsibilities that you have. So thank you for inspiring post-secondary students. Thank you for your dedication to a free and accessible education. Thank you for fighting for what's ours, a fully funded education system. Education is a right, and I promise you that the Canadian Federation of Students will do everything in their power to help you folks in this fight, because like I said, the students united will never be defeated. The students united will never be defeated. Again, the students united will never be defeated. Every time the students united will never be defeated. Thank you, everyone. I love you.
I give no fuck to them.
I know. I got 2 viewers.
Thank you so much, Noor, for that. That was amazing. And it's so great to have university students fighting with us.
Someone joined it, but it was
We knew as soon as Doug Ford got elected that our rights would be under attack. We knew he would attack fair working conditions and a minimum wage of $15 an hour. Shame! We knew he would attack education on Indigenous issues. Shame! We knew that Doug Ford would attack inclusive and adequate sex ed in schools. Shame! He attacked all of these rights, and as students, we have continuously fought back. And guess what? We will keep fighting. Doug Ford is destroying the public school system and has made it so that income is more of a factor of whether you'll get a good education. Shame! Just think about it. You're in classes with a lot more students. You're having a hard time if you have special needs when it comes to school, or if you're just struggling with classes. And then you're gonna need tutoring or any special services. But you can't get these from your school anymore. He's cutting the funding to these programs and services because he doesn't care about whether we do well in school. He doesn't care about our futures. Your family will have to pay for these services, except many families can't even afford this. Do we really want our education to work like this? No! To only benefit people who have money? No! This really upsets me because education is a fundamental human right. Every student in this province should have access to a good education. And Doug Ford is taking that away. Shame. This is why we're here and this is why we're fighting today. And we will keep fighting. We're fighting for education. This is why 100,000 other students are walking out.
I don't know. Who subscribed to me?
Lisa Thompson said,
It's like, you guys.
Lisa Thompson said that larger classes will help build resilience in students. Well, look here, Lisa. Look here, Ford. Is this not resilient enough for you? We will fight and resist the Doug Ford government. We will keep fighting until education becomes a priority in this province, not just for the rich, but for everyone. We won't let Ford Nation take away our education. We won't let Ford Nation take away our education. We won't let Ford Nation take away our education. mobilization, take away our education. We would now like to, okay, next we have Navi Ajla, an organizer from the Workers' Action Center. We're so happy to have you here.
Hello everyone, my name's Navi. I'm with the Workers' Action Center and the 15 and Fairness campaign. Just like Noor, I want to start by thanking all of you students today for taking a stand and really being such an inspiration to everyone. All around the world, we're seeing young people and students increasingly on the front lines, taking on important issues from the sex ed curriculum and a diverse curriculum that represents Indigenous and other communities, climate justice, the $15 minimum wage, and decent education. You are leading the way, and it really gives us so much hope for the future. So thank you so much for the work you're doing and the example that you're setting. 15 and Fairness stands in solidarity with you, and we know that when the government cuts funding for education, that it's also an attack on decent work. We know that funding cuts not only reduce the number of teachers in the classroom, but it also increases pressure on our public school system to be cutting wages and worsening working conditions. And I want to take a minute to acknowledge the invisible workers in our school system who are such an important part of keeping our schools running. And who also bear the brunt of cuts. So this includes custodial staff, cleaning staff, maintenance workers, construction workers, and more. When funds are cut, workers are usually the ones who pay the price in the name of cost saving. It creates pressure to cut decent pay and working conditions, and that's when we see the rise of contracting out of cleaning work, misclassification, putting heavier workloads on less employees, and other cuts to rights and benefits. This directly hurts our communities. And of course, as we all know, students suffer as well. The quality of education goes down when classrooms are overcrowded, teachers are overworked, there are too few custodial staff to maintain the school and keep the grounds clean. All of these factors affect the learning conditions of students. The Ford government is trying to downplay it when they say that the average classroom is only gonna increase by a few students. But we have to remember that it's an average. So we could be seeing classrooms of 35, 40, 50 students, and that's not acceptable. And this government has made it clear again and again what their attitude is towards students and young workers. This is just a part of a series of attacks on our education system, both the quality of it and accessibility to it. For many working class people, the two paths out of poverty are often getting a unionized job, which are getting more and more difficult to get, or a post-secondary education. We're told that getting a degree is not just a privilege anymore, but a necessity to get a good job. But at the same time, our government is cutting funding for our education and for our teachers, lowering our quality of education, and cutting OSAP to make education harder to access. This same government thinks it's okay for students to make less than minimum wage at $13.15, which means that they're getting poverty wages, even though we know that a lot of students are providing crucial income for their families and for their households to run. And they're trying to save up for the high cost of post-secondary education. And then when we finish all these years of schooling, we're left struggling with debt and in jobs that are increasingly not permanent or full-time, don't provide benefits, and don't pay us enough to survive. This is not the future that we want for our students, and we know that you deserve better, and that's why we're here today. So thank you again, students, for leading the way, and we will continue to stand with you in this fight. I got a cheer as well. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Doug Ford has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho,
Doug Ford has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Doug Ford has got to go. Hey, hey, Doug Ford has got to go.
Thank you so much, Navi. Let's hear it for Navi. Yeah, come on, Harper. Let's hear it for Navi. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So, as young people, We can sometimes be made to feel as if we're powerless. As if we have to sit in silence as these detrimental changes are happening to our education. But you know what? I do not feel powerless today. I look around and I feel powerful.
Yeah!
I see a mass of amazing, smart, and innovative leaders of tomorrow. Doug Ford does not think it's worth it to invest in us, and he is so wrong.
He's pretty right. We have a free public spirit sign up there.
And we are not alone. We will make a change. So thank you for coming out here. Thank you for this energy. And I want you all to put this energy into good work. Apply it. Call your MPP. Write a letter to your government. Sign the petition on the HCI walkout account. And come protest this Saturday at Queen's Park.
Yeah, there is.
So we have some flyers being handed out right now for the rally on Saturday. We hope to see you all there because the fight has just begun. This isn't over. This is just the beginning.
Woo!
So we'll post more details also on the walkout account. And thank you all so much for coming here. Thank you to all our amazing speakers. It's really amazing to have support in our communities. And thank you to everyone who helped to make this possible.
Is it over?
We the students say no! 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 Say no! We the students say no! We the students say no! Woo!
Woo! Yeah!
Educated, best equipped, best prepared troops refuse to fight it. Matter of fact, it's safe to say that they would rather switch.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Okay, thanks guys, bye!
Woo! David, how did you feel about that?
You know, it happened. That was the thing.
Hey! Christy, were you the one watching it? Were you one of the people watching it? My live stream of it. Yes, you're currently on it right now.
Yo, free Bobby Smyrna!
What? I currently have no one watching. I've had up to 2 people watching. It's been lit.
Where'd you go?
Who? I bet.
Got your back?
Yes, that's Sanders. Ben, how do you feel about this?
Where'd his bag go? I'll give it a 10.
Sarah, how do you feel about me having a 23-minute live video of this?
You know how I feel about you? I hate your face!
I know that. That's an old insult.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Why?
You not want to go to class?
I mean, walkout's over.
Excuse me.
Free Bobby Smyrna!
What?
But before you all leave, grade 12s who haven't purchased their after prom ticket, please
Yeah, that's
Free Bobby Smyrna.
Rebel or Noah and buy your ticket. Thank you. Don't miss out on
Yo,
the fun
free
time.
Smyrna!
Or miss out, dummies.
What?
What?
What are you
I
saying?
didn't say anything. I don't know what
Oh, God. Sander, how do you feel about this? What does that even say? Our education is not... I don't have to make a vlog about this now. Can I have it live? Hey, I don't need to edit anything. I can just edit, go straight to uploading after this. So hell yeah. Live videos are lit. Unlike pay cuts, live videos are lit. What's up? Unlike pay cuts, live videos are lit because I don't have to do any editing or uploading process. It just all gets uploaded.
Yeah, you know.
Right after. It's lit. Should I end this now? It's like 25 minutes long.
It's over.
Okay. David, do you know my outro?
No one cares about your terrible live stream.